Mine is Avengers Endgame trailer, Avengers Endgame trailer, Game of Thrones Season 8 Episode 2 teaser.
Trailer. There's a theme here.
Trailer for Poms. Season 7 recap of Game of Thrones.
I was about to say you're always looking forward, didn't you? But
correct. Blue Van Man 2.0 channel.
2.0. What's on that?
It's random videos. I think it's more life stuff than food. Scott Parker ad for McDonald's.
Nice.
Where's My Elephant? Simpsons video, which is in reference to something on Game of Thrones. If you haven't seen it, Mr. Tumble. That's not one of mine. Ouch! Triple H rips out Batista's nose ring.
Oh.
All 44 wrestlers who died in the 2010s. I don't even remember clicking on that one, so I definitely didn't watch it. The Snowman, which I've seen approximately 50 times this year so far.
Sorry, say again?
The Snowman.
Why have you watched it so many times?
My daughter loves the Snowman.
Really? What? So you watch it even not at Christmas?
Yeah.
She's two, mate. There's no reasoning with the 2-year-old.
Which is hence why the next video is the Gruffalo. The next one is Fairy Tales 2, and the next one is Room on the Broom. All of which
different world.
You're not sure
you need to get.
Not sure of Deadpool yet.
No, not yet. I will tell you this. Number 20. Top 10 lesbian pollen attacks in wrestling.
What?
How?
Have you not heard of lesbian pollen attacks?
No.
Apparently, it's where the lesbian pollen in the arena is so strong that all women must become lesbian, and it's basically a load of clips of wrestlers whose storyline involved some sort of weird sexual-related thing in WWE.
Right. You've been watching that, have you, Nathan?
Yeah. So on.
Well, hang on, I've got two things to say now.
In all honesty, the reason I clicked on it, the original reason I clicked on it was I wonder what lesbian pollen attack means. And then once I got in there, like the screen like froze and I couldn't get out of it, so I just thought
that's right, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Watch the rest of it.
Right. Well, first of all, you need to get yourself down to Chessington because they've got not only a Gruffalo ride, but also a Room on the Broom.
Room on the Broom.
Walkthrough.
Yeah.
Open now.
So
already on the docket. Yeah.
Oh, love that. And Stuart, you showed Theo Deadpool.
Yeah. Deadpool? No, not Deadpool. Once Upon a Deadpool.
Once Upon a Deadpool, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
How did it go? Were there questions?
No, not really. He enjoyed it.
Fine. Good.
Realistically, it's pretty violent, but it's not really any worse
than John Wick.
Yeah, it's pretty violent and it's pretty sweary, but there were a couple of bits that I think just totally went over his head. The drugs references just went over his head, and the kind of the sexual jokes went over his head. Correct.
Right, shall we just do a podcast? Welcome to episode 40 of FRUK Unwrapped, the official podcast of Food Review UK. My name,
guys, we have reached the 40th episode.
that well-renowned milestone. Like nobody celebrates 50 anymore. It's all about number 40, is it, Michael?
Although, hang on, bear with me, maths. Times 40 by 2, because we record the show every 2 weeks. What do you get?
80.
Yeah. And 80 weeks in a
fortnight.
Month.
Year.
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah.
I don't know. But bear in mind, we've also had weeks we've missed. We've also had appetizers. So.
Well, those are ones with me that don't have me, and I don't really count them.
Neither do we. So this has gone massively. My name is Nathan Peterson, and tonight we are going to be looking at one of the most infamous of all spreads, the peanut butter. But first, he's salty, he's creamy, he's crunchy. It's Stuart Bullock.
Hello, Nathan.
It's a bit of a shit intro, isn't it, mate?
I didn't want to say anything. That wasn't one of your most inspired. It was just 3 adjectives, which are broadly positive if talking about a person, and all of which. So what we're going to do now is you're going to repeat the same kind of trope, but with 3 adjectives which are broadly negative if you're talking about a person, but also refer to peanut butter. Continue with the joke, Nathan.
He's smooth. I mean, that's quite positive, actually. He's smooth. He's claggy. He comes in jars. Sorry, he comes into jars. It's Michael Jameson.
It's too much. You can't tell the viewers this stuff. It's too personal. No, I've got some news. Got a little announcement. I think that when you ask me how I am and I sort of ask you how you are at the beginning of the podcast, I think it drags it down a little bit too much. So I'm not going to tell you how I feel.
Thankfully, it didn't drag down this podcast. How are we both? Obviously, I'll rephrase that. How are you, Stuart?
I'm very well, mate. I'm currently in the middle of 2 weeks off works, which is rejuvenating and wonderful. I spent the day on a farm. It's worth mentioning I have got a broken toe, and last night I was very nearly knocked out twice. But other than that, very good.
Sorry.
Yes.
How did you get knocked out by a broken toe?
No. The broken toe and the knocking out are related, but they're not directly the same. I have broken my toe, and I was nearly knocked out twice at kickboxing last night. Sparring, you see.
Wow.
I was sparring for the first time.
Gee, sorry, you broke your toe last night?
Yes.
I mean, what, do you go to hospital or something?
No.
Yeah, I've heard there's not much they can do for a broken toe.
You don't go to hospital for a broken toe, you just suck it up, don't you?
How do you know it's broken then?
Because it's purple.
So it could just be bruised.
It hurt. All right, it might be bruised. I've got a toe that lies somewhere along the continuum from fine to disappeared.
Mate, you got a fucking Thanos toe.
Yeah.
I'm also now curious as to whether you actually were nearly knocked out twice, or whether you went to sleep.
No, I was
the same.
Yeah, I was punched quite hard in the side of the head twice last night, and once in the nose.
Theo's really getting on well at it, isn't he?
He is, isn't he? Yeah.
You were punched? I thought it was kickboxing.
We punch as well. We punch and kick. We don't like to discriminate against forms of violence.
Any violence, welcome here.
Yeah.
So, other than that, successful night at kickboxing?
Yeah, it's good. Been to a farm today. It was nice.
And you saw a food-related animal?
Saw a llama. Saw 2 llamas. A large llama and a small llama. I also saw some alpacas. And I've got a bit of a problem now, because the alpaca is a much more, I feel, magical and interesting animal than the llama. And if the food industry were going to go crazy for a new animal, I think the alpaca would be better, because they've got the hair, haven't they, the alpacas, which the llamas don't have.
Yeah, but fringes are sort of like the sort of dead in the 90s, aren't they? Really, fringes.
Now they're back though, Nathan. They're back. Perms are back, and it's like the early 90s again. Everyone's called things like Karen and Julie, and Gary, and everyone's got a perm. Yeah.
Yeah, you two probably are qualified to discuss the pros and cons of perms and fringes.
All right, greyhead.
Greyhead? I'm not from Game of Thrones, mate.
Game of Thrones, is that the one with the little fella?
No, that's the 2 Ronnies. What? So yeah, I mean, just to allude to that, sorry, to expand on that. So llamas 2019 seems to be the big thing. What's the next big thing? What's the next animal to come down the gimmick train?
Ooh.
Well, it's a shame there's like a...
I was going to say, unicorns are magical. Llamas, not so much. Like, it's a bit of a weird transition from one end of the scale.
Pugs there was a big pug phase as well, wasn't there, knocking round? Like, not necessarily in food, but pugs were everywhere. Maybe pugs could transition into food.
I don't think piranhas are a million miles away from mermaids. They're sort of
same.
Yeah, I mean they've got sparkly scales and a nice sort of green and red cocklocket sort of blushed colour scheme, but a bit violent, isn't it, for food?
Yeah. Bit violent. I mean, you don't want food that's suggesting it could eat you back, really.
No.
This has been a good section. Right, let's move on. Right, as we did on the last episode with young Mr. Alex and Sierra, Random Questions Season 2 is now live for all of our triple guests, our hat-trick guests.
Correct.
I thought it would be a good idea to run through a few of these with you. So as we do when we have double guests, I'm going to ask each of you to give me 2 numbers between 1 and 10. Although I will say, please do not pick number 9, because that's the question we did last week about fighting animals, fighting mascots. And we are going to swerve that for very good reasons. So any number between 1 and 10 apart from 9. And I will start with Stuart.
3.
Favourite crisps?
Either McCoy's salt and vinegar or Seabrook salt and vinegar. If pushed, McCoy's salt and vinegar.
Okay. Pushed. Considering pushed.
Correct.
Michael, I'm guessing that yours is probably the roast chicken Tyrells.
It's probably up there, yeah. I like a nice sea salt crisp. I like a nice sea salt Seabrook. Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Roast chickens, Tyrrells are really good. Probably go with that. I probably don't have one that's a favourite amongst all lovers, but that's up there. That's an excellent product.
It's worth noting, although we're not involved in one, iota, there is a Crisp World Cup going on Facebook, which we shared previously. I think they've just made it into the next round. I think it's the quarterfinals at this stage, I think. Well, no, maybe last 16, actually, saying that. But yeah, and you were fuming that indeed those roast chicken Tyrrells were not even in the top 64 crisps.
It's shambolic.
They're a niche crisp.
I don't care. There's absolute shit in there. There's shit like mini cheddars.
Yeah, I will say.
Fucking crisp.
I will say that was a bit of a swerve that I wasn't expecting. Michael, can you give me one number between 1 and 10?
Yeah, number 2, please.
Favourite sandwich. You don't really like sandwiches.
Oh, I don't really, but there is one that is chief among all others, and that is the BLT. I do like a nice BLT.
Actually, with BLTs, I tend to have them. They've got floppy bacon, if you will, flaccid Chris Clements bacon. You don't often get one with the crispy variety of bacon.
Yeah, it's the one vehicle that I think floppier bacon is acceptable.
Yeah, fair. Stuart, favourite sandwich?
Either. Can I have a toasted sandwich?
Yeah, why not?
Cheese, just a cheese, straight up cheese toasty.
Decent.
Bloody love a cheese toasty. If I wasn't allowed a toasted sandwich, I'd go for a fish finger sandwich. I adore a fish finger sandwich. Obviously, they can't be taken in your packed lunch for school or on a picnic. But a nice fresh fish finger sandwich, plenty of butter on the bread, and I'm talking just bog standard fish fingers, bog standard Warburton's toasty bread, butter, 4 fingers per slice of bread. Ideally, 1.5 sandwiches, loads of ketchup, bosh.
1.5 sandwiches. Not me. Stuart, 1 to 10?
7, please.
7. Favourite overseas cuisine?
Mexican.
Easy. Yeah, probably would have been my prediction because you love your burrito.
Yeah.
Michael?
I think it has to be American.
American? I mean...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what's that then? Burgers, hot dogs?
Yeah, pizza. Burgers, barbecue,
okay.
Pizza, right. American pizza.
And last one for you, Michael. Number
4, please.
Do you say scone or scone?
Scone.
Stuart?
Scone. Nathan?
Yeah.
Nathan? Oh, you say scone, don't you?
I know, it's one of those things, I don't actually know what I say. I think I say scone.
Quickly whack it out in normal conversation.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Quickly whack it out in normal conversation.
And we're back to the buffet table. Would you like a scone? Would you like a scone? Scone? Scone.
This is brilliant.
Scone. Laura, would you like a scone? Yeah, scone, I
think. You guys been watching Game of Thrones?
Correct.
Seen that?
Yeah.
Watched
that old bloody Jamie Lannister fucking knocking on my door last night, wasn't he?
Go on.
Trying to sell me loads of cereals. He was really pushing Bran.
Oh, I quite like that.
Thank you.
Obviously, we're not going to talk about Game of Thrones. We don't want to throw any spoilers out. But I would just say one thing that struck me was that we were almost back to Series 1 levels of gratuitous female nudity in last night's episode, and that can only be a good thing.
Oh,
more
a trifecta of titties is always good news.
Correct. Nathan has frozen.
Yeah, we've lost Nathan.
AKA
Nathan
disappeared. Nathan is back on the other side of my screen.
That was really weird.
Yeah,
that was very weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed whatever.
I just said that it's we appear to be back to Series 1 levels of gratuitous female nudity in the Thrones, Game of the Thrones.
I'm not really terribly worried.
No,
I'm honest.
No, I'm quite happy with it.
This is gonna sound fairly gay, but
nothing wrong with that, Michael. I don't. Why are you worried about?
Because I got a wife. But it's sort of a shame that we didn't get to see Robson or Jerome's erect penis in that scene. It's like you were literally you were 2 seconds ago you were penetrating someone. Don't tell me you can get those tidy whities back on straight away. You've got to wait 30 seconds minimum, based on the tightness of the pants. It's not like your dick instantly fucking flops. Imagine if it did.
I think Jerome is probably 10 years, 15 years. He's probably in his mid-50s, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you now,
surely.
Michael, as you age, you'll realise that it does instantly just flop, mate.
In this case, if it ever even was there.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't.
Correct.
He might have
been thumbing it in.
Mm.
Great.
She was enjoying herself regardless. Quibia!
Hey!
Q-U-I-B-I-A. Yeah, it's Quibia time to play Quibia. Q-U-I-B-I-A. Yeah, it's Quibia time to play some Quibia. It's like a cross between some trivia and a quiz, and a such it stems apart the two of those two aforementioned words. Q-U-I-B-I-A. Yeah, it's Quibia time to play Quibia. Q-U-I-B-I-A. Yeah, it's Quibia time to play some Quibia.
Right, guys.
Tune in here.
You know the score. 5 questions. Stuart wins. Question 1. In which movie...
What the fuck?
What?
Sorry, I'm a bit slow today.
Oh,
I'm feeling a bit naughty. I'm the Chaos Master today.
You'll enjoy this one, Michael, because it's not a number-related one, so Stuart can't one-up you. In which movie did Brad Pitt's character become obsessed with peanut butter? I'm going to start with Michael Jameson.
Vanilla Sky.
Vanilla Sky, good. The film he's not in. And Stuart Bullock.
In which movie did Brad Pitt's character become obsessed with peanut butter?
Right, so obviously I thought you said Tom Cruise.
Right.
So could I change my answer?
Nope.
I don't really have any idea, so I'm going to go for Burn After Reading, just because it's something that was, just thinking
seems a logical. Yeah, seems a logical.
And he plays like a personal trainer in it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because my answer's invalid, I'm just going to throw this out there, just as a little sort of preview nugget, I guess. Very interestingly, the movie you're referencing is actually an animated film. Right, carry on.
What?
Cool. I don't know. Number.
Oh, he's Googled it. He's Googled it.
No, lie.
What is the record for most peanut butter and jelly sandwich? PB&J, for our American friends out there. Sandwiches eaten in 1 minute, 60 seconds. Stuart.
17.
17 for Stuart. And for Michael?
Would it be possible to get any specifications on the sandwich? Is this one slice folded in half, or is this...
Yep, it's bread, possibly 2 slices. It's less than 3 slices of bread. And there's peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, I mean, 12 would be one every 5 seconds, and that just sounds... 14.
14. Number 3. Approximately how many peanuts are needed for a 360-gram jar of peanut butter? Now, don't know if you know your weights of peanut butter jars, but for some reference, the average Sunpat jar is 400 grams, and the smaller Meridian jars are 170. So if that gives you an idea of what roughly a 360-gram jar of peanut butter would be. We're starting with Michael on this one.
137.
How many, sorry?
137.
137, okay. And Stuart?
138. Sorry. Well, I'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, sort of.
I wonder if there's a way I can rule this out. I wonder if there's a way I can stop this sort of shenanigans. Not going to. 4. In which year did Harry Burnett Reese invent the delicacy of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup?
What a hero that man is.
Stuart?
In which year? 1952.
1952. And Michael Jameson?
1959.
1959. And the final question of this quiz. According to Statista.com, what was the approximate UK market revenue for peanut butter in 2018? And we're starting with Michael. In millions, if that helps.
Okay, yeah.
This is just for peanut butter, not all peanut butter products.
It didn't specify. It just said the peanut butter market, so I assume this is purely just peanut butter, yes.
Pure butter, yeah.
Pure peanut butter market. Sorry, it's market revenue.
So in the UK?
Yeah, UK market revenue, so, sales,
right, so
essentially.
40...
In dollars, I should specify as well, sorry.
Oh, in dollars, right, okay.
That changes your answer by any...
Yeah, probably $58 million.
$58 million. And for Stuart...
$210 million.
$210 million. Okie dokie, where are we? Interesting. Okay, right. So, answers. The movie which Brad Pitt became obsessed with peanut butter was Meet Joe Fight Club. In the film, Meet Joe Black. In the film, Brad Pitt plays the Grim Reaper, who has clearly never tried peanut butter before, tries it, falls in love with it.
Wait, Meet Joe Black, is that not the monkey one?
No, that's Meet Joe Young, or something like that.
Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah, Meet Mighty Joe Young.
What's Meet Joe Black?
It's about the devil, isn't it?
Vaguely rings a bell.
He basically plays the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper decides to come to Earth for a day or something like that, and he takes the body of Brad Pitt's character and follows Sir Anthony Hopkins pre-death. Oh, spoiler, guys.
I've never seen it.
I haven't.
Yeah, I reckon that's the front cover.
It's a much maligned film. However, it's one film I can watch and watch and watch. Bloody long, though, about 2.5 hours. Cracking film. Put it on your list. Question 2. The record for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I mean, you guys are insane. Fucking 17 sandwiches, one every 3 seconds.
Yeah, you
peanut butter, mate. Fucking hell.
What are you talking about, you twat?
Michael's insane answer is still more than double the correct answer. 6 full sandwiches were eaten by Patrick Bertoletti in January 2012.
The man's a clown.
All right, maybe that's the next challenge then.
Yeah.
See if you can.
Yeah, let's see how many you can get down. Fucking 1.5.
One
fish
more.
fingers.
One more is the answer. It's always the answer, Michael. One more.
You
Okay.
could do one more than that.
Always.
You could
I always do one more. On to the next question.
Question 3. The number of peanuts required to fill a 360-gram jar of peanut butter was in fact 540. So Stuart takes that.
I thought it was something like that.
Yeah, that's why you went with 138.
Oh, I'll just edge my bets, innit? I reckon there's about 2 peanuts to a gram. Ish.
Right. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. So it's 1-1 after that.
Shame.
The year.
Mine was a team win, though.
The year. I know what I should do. I should just get you guys to message me independently or something like that. That's probably the fairer way. Isn't
Oh my god! Imagine.
That's
We
probably
could write it down on a bit of paper and then hold them up at the same time and then still read them out.
Yeah. That's fair. I think that's probably fair.
Not going to happen.
Oh, look at that.
Probably not going to happen. Yeah. Harry Burnett Rees invented the peanut butter cup in 19. So you're both right there. 28. So Stuart takes that one. His candy business actually started in 1923, following his employment at the Hershey Chocolate Company. His original candy bars were the Lizzie Bar, which was a coconut, caramel, and chocolate concoction, and the Johnny Bar, which was made with molasses, named after his daughter and son, respectively.
You thought it would have been named after both of his daughters, which is why it's got molasses in.
Hey!
Get it. So that's 2-1 to Stuart. And the final question: the UK market revenue for peanut butter in 2018 was approximately $116 million. So Michael takes that one. The global market is actually worth $3.5 billion, with the US making up over half of that alone. They do about 1.8 billion on their own because they bloody love fucking peanut butter. They don't love fucking peanut butter, but I mean, if they do, they do. That's a 2-2 draw.
Nice.
I could have done a tiebreaker.
Hello, it's MJ. You're listening to FRUK Unwrapped. Please leave us a review on iTunes and check out our other exploits, which does include our Instagram page at FRUKgram and our Twitter page at Food Review UK. And hey, we've got lots of awesome videos on YouTube. Thanks a lot for your support.
So let's move on. Subject: peanut butter, or in other words, that thing that kid rubbed on his balls and let his dog lick off that you've heard of.
Oh.
But if I did fuck peanut butter, it would be crunchy.
Well, that's ruined one of the questions I've got.
I did friction.
Oh.
Beautiful.
I suppose it's harder to wipe off though, innit? Because you end up hurting yourself all the knobbly bits. Anyway, it's a food podcast. How are we going?
Things to get caught, I would imagine. Imagine your urethra after dealing with one of those bad boys.
Oh, God.
I'm a man, Nate. I haven't got a urethra. I've got a penis.
Very true. I forgot we had a scientist on the show. I was trying to wing that one. So general feelings on peanut butter as a whole. Not as, a whole peanut butter, but...
Like I say, I fuck it. I don't get it to fuck me. Think that on the whole.
In the realms of spreads, where does the humble peanut butter come?
Top dog by a mile. Amazing stuff. Didn't like it until mid to late 20s, and have spent the last 15 years making up for lost time. It is amazing. I bloody love peanut butter. It is incredible.
For the listeners at home, this tonight's topic was chosen by Stuart Bullock, so I think it's fair to say he enjoys peanut butter.
Well, yes, I enjoy it.
Do you enjoy it in the same way Michael apparently enjoys it?
Slightly differently, but basically the same, just with a few minor tweaks, yeah.
But the difference is you don't fuck it, but you'd like to. Whereas Michael doesn't want to fuck it, but does. Michael, peanut butter. How do you feel about it?
Bloody love peanut butter. My second favourite spread.
Hang on, can we play a game to guess what the first one is?
Go on.
I guess either it's one of two.
Go on.
Either Nutella or Biscoff.
Oh, okay. Nate, you got any?
Well, the joke answer, which Stuart will hopefully edit out, is the correct answer, though, I think must be. The correct answer must be. I think it must be. I think it must be Biscoff. I feel like it should be Biscoff.
Oh, that joke answer slightly trod over my punchline. I was going to say Sharon Stone.
Why Sharon Stone?
Basic Instinct, isn't it?
She didn't really spread, though, did she? Kind of. She's all just uncrossed, really.
Uncrossed and recrossed.
Yeah.
No, I do love peanut butter.
Can we leave, I mean, for the whole sake of that conversation, can we leave the bit in? Or
I mean, I'm just I'm doing is I'm just writing down. I'm writing down all the times that you say the word, so I can beep them out. So I'm just currently writing down a whole stream of seconds.
Would have thought that'd be okay.
It's probably funnier if I beep out every time someone says, though, isn't it?
Yeah, she's quite a fan of the show, actually, so she'll be listening.
40.
who is?
Yeah, she listens to it. She's more diligent than I am, to be honest.
Oh, fair play. Has she listened to more than Gossie has?
Yeah, she does listen to every episode, so.
Fair play. So what is your favourite spread then, Mike?
She's listened to more than one. No, it'd probably be hard to choose between everything that you guys mentioned. Biscoff, Nutella, peanut butter. They're all really sort of essential, aren't they? Peanut butter is incredible. Well,
Essential.
they are.
You've heard of essential oils, essential butters.
Ylang ylang, my favourite essential oil. If we're talking about his favourite essential oils,
that'll be another episode.
Yeah, that'll be like episode 400 or so. We'll run out of food. We just have to do a nice smelling. Smells what we want to eat. Ylang ylang. No, I do you know what? I don't have it enough. I guess I don't really know which segment to say this bit in, so I'm just going to say it now whilst it's on my mind, because I sort of going senile and I forget things from time to time. I wanted to say that Jamie Lannister joke about 15 minutes sooner than I even said it. Obviously forgotten what I was going to say. No. When I used to go and visit my dad when I was a younger boy, my parents were divorced, so I would see my dad every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks he would come over and we'd spend a Sunday together, and every 3 weeks after that he'd come over, pick me up on a Friday night, and then I'd spend the weekend at his flat, and he'd take me back on a Oh, this is brilliant. Stuart's just put some disco lights on. And then he'd drop me back on the Sunday. So it's like you could sort of envision some sort of interconnected 3 weekly pattern. Anyway, and the little ritual that we had is that just before he dropped me home on the Sunday, I say drop me home. It's not, it was like a 2-hour journey, so it's not like a little jaunt or something. But so we'd go to the sweet store in Stenning. Just before. Oh yeah, just what actually? Bloody hell, they were open on a Sunday. That's mental. So we go to the sweet shop in Stenning, nice little village in West Sussex, and I didn't know what they were called at the time. They certainly weren't called what that I now know them as. But there were these little candies that were like peanut butter in a sugar shell, and my mind was blown that they had this product. And so I used to get a bag of them every time. I think I sometimes might have got. Right. So basically, I'm being taken the piss out of now. Basically, I've got some sort of small blemish or painful little mark on my shoulder, and I've just sort of quite absent-mindedly just got my arm out, trying to sort of squeeze or sort of just like scratch the bit that hurts, and all the lads just like getting their arms out and doing like Egyptian and like strongman poses.
Egyptian.
Mocking me basically.
Sorry,
but still
candy.
Yeah, they're Reese's Pieces. We know them as Reese's Pieces now, but at the time they certainly weren't called that, and I just found it astonishing. It was like the only place that you could get them. We're talking about 20 years ago, so Yeah, amazing memory of peanut butter. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. Like I said, I don't have it enough. I'm talking about it, making me want to get that fucking jar out. I'll tell you that.
Fuck it. I mean, that was. So you like peanut butter then?
Yeah, I like it. How do you feel about it, Nate?
I can tick off question 1. So I'm probably going to make a wild comment here that might harken back to episode 3 of the podcast. Something that's similar to something Michael Jameson's said. I don't think I had peanut butter until I was an adult. So there you go. There's a comment for you. I genuinely, in the right context, I enjoy it. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever had a peanut butter sandwich. I've never had it in that context. So my actual experience with peanut butter is relatively limited compared to probably you guys. The majority of the peanut butter I've had is in chocolate or something similar. It's been in something that is not the traditional use of peanut butter. What I would say is that when I have tried peanut butter in a more traditional sense, or if I've tried it directly, if I've tried it neat, so to speak, I'm not a huge fan of it, if I'm honest. The texture of it is not a thing that I'm particularly a fan of. I like the flavour of it, but yeah, it's just a bit too, the whole stereotypical thing about it sticking to the roof of your mouth. I don't like that. Not a fan of that. Not at all. Not one bit, my friends. But in other contexts, which we will get to, I think it is actually a incredible food source. So yeah, I'm sort of slightly the villain on this episode, I would imagine. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring it all down a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
Some concerns.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
It's certainly not food hell. It certainly would never be in food hell, so don't worry about that. But it's I don't know if I'd ever put it anywhere near food heaven. Will I veto it if Stuart ever brings it up on food hell? Who knows? Moving on. So you guys are obviously very much keen on the peanut butter. So that then brings the age-old question: smooth or crunchy?
Both.
Yeah, both.
I require both of them for different things. But if I had to just have one, it would be crunchy. If I'm having it on a piece of toast or I'm having it on a crumpet, which is my preferred peanut butter delivery method, then I much prefer crunchy. But I require smooth for some cooking purposes. And also, actually, smooth is better if you're going to do a mixture of, for example, if you're going to have a piece of toast or a crumpet with some peanut butter and some chocolate spread on it, then smooth is arguably better in that instance. But crunchy in general.
Just on that point before I let Michael in, just out of interest, does crunchy taste different to smooth?
Yes.
Does it? Is that presumably from the chunks of nut?
It's a very, very, very minor difference in flavour, but obviously when the peanut butter I buy is 100% peanuts. There's nothing added to it whatsoever. And when the peanuts break down to such an extent that they become the peanut butter, so the little chunks in there, there's been a chemical reaction in the blitzing of the peanuts, so it's just a slightly different, and it might even just be like not a placebo effect, but the same kind of thing where the textural difference means that you perceive a slight flavour difference.
No, I think you're right. I think they're different.
I think you see it with chocolate sometimes. You can literally get three forms of Cadbury that taste completely different just because they are shaped differently.
Yeah.
And you get a different mouth, a different umami. Is that the right thing?
No.
Different mouthfeel. Mouthfeel, yeah. And that sort of then leads to the flavour. So I'd imagine it's very similar to the nut butter, the peanut butter.
Umami is the savoury receptor.
Ah, but there is something similar, isn't there? No, I don't know. No, Michael, what crunchy or smooth?
It's a question not a million miles away from Marvel or DC. I do have a preference, but you're not going to make me choose one. Certainly not.
I am.
Actually, no, it's a little bit further away from Marvel DC because I do have a clear winner there. Whereas I would say that, like Stuart says, you certainly need both. But I guess my favourite is probably Smooth. Probably. No, it's close. It's close.
Well, one would argue that's a perfect metaphor for the Marvel and DC comparison. One's a lot smoother.
One's smooth.
Yeah.
I suppose you call DC bumpy.
Yeah.
And
kind
Marvel.
of the same.
Well,
one assumes Marvel.
Sorry.
Where's he going?
I don't know. I feel like he's storming out, but I can't quite work out if
there hasn't been anything said that's.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work out.
Surprise poo?
I don't know. Would he apologise? Why has he left his YouTube on?
His chair's very nice.
It is very nice.
It looks quite comfortable.
He's got a nice little house, actually, Michael.
Yeah.
Little townhouse. It's very well maintained.
In his dressing gown. What's he got in his hand? He's got some peanut butter, hasn't he? He's got one sleeve of his dressing gown rolled up.
What's he done with it? Is he going to slap it up?
Oh no, the other one's rolled up again now. Bit of symmetry.
Why did you leave, Michael?
Brilliant. I've just poured fucking peanut oil over my keyboard. That's probably going to break it, isn't it?
Just think. There are people out there who consciously choose to listen to this. And this is some of the great I mean, I don't know why we don't record these, because the shit that Michael gets up to during a fucking show is mental.
And that's Stuart's fault, because this is the fucking Morrison's one that he made me buy that separates. I just opened it over the keyboard and it's all bloody falling out.
How are you storing it? Are you storing it the way I've told you to store it? Upside down?
How did you...
Do you store it again? Have you been storing it upside down? The way I have told you to store it?
You never said that.
I bloody did, and it's on the comments on a YouTube video as well. You store your peanut, your 100% peanut butter. You store them upside down, and then all of the oil goes to the top, which is actually the bottom of the jar. When you turn it upside down, it sloops back in. Perfect consistency. You don't need to stir it. If you store 100% peanut butter the right way up, it will separate and you'll just get loads of peanut oil, and then you're left with dry stuff at the end. You store your jars upside down. I've told you this, Michael. You just don't listen.
I've not seen that. What? Sorry, why?
You definitely.
Why does it not separate if you put it upside down?
It does separate. It just separates in a different way because the oil goes.
He's not listening to you this time either.
No, he's not.
You've clearly explained it. I understand what you said, but he's so concerned with the peanut butter that he's not even listening to you when you're trying to help him.
He's saying something about put it on its side or something.
I also don't understand how you've still got the same jar of peanut butter that I told you to buy about a year ago.
I just said earlier, mate, I don't eat it enough. I already said I wanted to address, and do not think I'm fucking addressing that now.
I want you to eat that peanut. I want you to finish that jar off now.
As if I'm going to do the whole jar, you mad man.
Do you not reckon you could do a jar?
How much is in there? At what percentage of jar is left?
What is it, 170? 180 Gs?
350 peanuts.
How many grams is it?
360 grams, and it's about a third done. So.
Right.
Fucking hell. Go on then, mate.
I'm still.
Why have you got the peanut butter?
And all the dry, because mate, we've been talking about peanut butter for nearly a fucking hour. I'm craving it like a madman.
I've brought a peanut butter product to the podcast tonight as well.
Yeah,
probably worth time to mention it. This is a Reese's tree. Wow. I found this a couple of days ago. This was a birthday. Sorry, not a birthday. This was a Christmas gift. It was in my Christmas stocking. Christmas 2017. It's the best part of a year out of date, and I'm going to open it and eat it tonight.
Oh, what a legend! Weirdly, I have seen someone selling the tree recently in some random ghetto news agents or something. Yeah, so they're out there.
Yeah,
you can find them.
I've lost
so
close.
Yeah, exactly. I've lost all train of thought.
No, not exactly, Nate. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
What would you rather eat? This is just a random off the cuff question. What would you rather eat? A 360-gram jar of peanut butter, or the 540 peanuts that it takes to make one?
Butter.
Yeah, in one sitting, one continuous sitting.
Yeah, the butter.
Wow.
I prefer peanut butter to peanuts.
Michael,
I'm trying to think. How hard would it be to do 500 peanuts?
I don't reckon it would be that. I don't think it'd be as long as it sounds.
I mean,
let's put it that way.
It's the same grammage.
I'd probably rather do the peanut butter, but it sounds like it'd be pretty hard. Like, to do a whole jar of peanut butter, that sounds you surely would be sick, right?
How big's a big bag of peanuts? Surely big bags of peanuts are only like 150.
Yeah.
So
grams?
You'd be eating like a couple of big bags of peanuts.
Oh.
It's a lot, that.
Yeah.
Get drier. Your mouth would get a lot drier with the old peanuts, I'd imagine.
My mouth is getting so fucking dry right now.
Maybe this is the key to making a good podcast, is getting Michael to eat fucking peanut butter. Like, it's the equivalent of Mr. Ed training.
Yeah.
I need to try and lube it up by putting this fucking keyboard on me. Yeah, look, it's dripping off now.
Oh.
Look at that.
Can't see.
I'm not being funny.
No, you're
you
not.
Can see that, guys.
It's not Oh yeah, I can see that now.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we know those weren't there before we started recording?
Yeah, fair comment. I saw around the enter key. I'm going to have to get a cloth for that. Hang on.
All right. Well, while Michael does that, I'm going to ask Stuart the next question. He can elaborate and kill some time. So now that you've established that you are a smoothie and a crunchy, what's your favourite brand? What's your go-to brand?
My go-to brand is the Morrison's own brand. I've got no time whatsoever for a Sunpat or a Jif or a Skippy or a Reese's brand in terms of a jarred peanut butter. They're full of sugar and palm oil and additives and all kinds of nonsense. And for me, it's not a health thing. It's a flavour preference. I like the pure nut butters. I've been through the Whole Earth stuff. The Meridian's fine, but I prefer the flavour of the Morrison's own brand 100% natural. There's one other brand that I really like, and I can't remember what it is, and I don't know where it comes from. My mum's bought it for me twice. She tells me it's from Marks and Spencer's, but I've never seen it there. But yeah, the Morrison stuff, it's fantastic, and it's like £1.70 a jar.
What does she say when she tells you it's from Marks and Spencer's?
I think it's from Marks and Spencer's, Stuart, but I can't remember. Mum, you've literally just bought me the jar of peanut butter. Where's it from? No, Ma, they had like a stand of like different stuff in Marks's. She bloody loves Marks's, my mother. I was in Marks's.
Does she?
They had a stand of like different stuff, American stuff. And I saw there was peanut butter, and I thought, well, Stuart likes peanut butter. I'll get him a jar of this peanut butter. Was it expensive, Mum? It was canny expensive, like. It was about £3 a jar, but it's nice. I said, yeah, it's really nice. If you see it again, me some more again. I will do. Has she? No.
Is she still off the podcast, or can we win her back?
She listened to one. I can't remember the one that she said she listened to. She listened to Man vs. Fat.
Oh,
wow.
She really enjoyed it. She thought it was powerful. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
love that.
Thought it was good stuff. Don't know.
It's a shame. I'm disappointed Kelly lost her for us.
It's very difficult for me to broach the subject of listening to the podcast with my own mother when I know the kind of absolute filth that Michael spouts on this podcast. Like,
yeah, it's bad, isn't it?
I mean, I don't want to tell my mum she's not allowed to listen to it, but similarly, I don't want to encourage her.
Yeah. It's that crossroads, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want her to listen to your endeavours and be proud of you, but at the same time, you know that means, exposing
having to hear me say that I'm a smooth peanut. Fucking preference is smooth over crunchy. No one needs to hear that.
We're hearing it again for a second time.
Yeah. You do have this. I will say that you're very fortunate, Stu. I often see people who, let's put it this way, they are descendants of some sort of ethnic minority country, and they can flick between their English accent and their family accent, if you will. And I'm often very jealous of that. I often think that's a great talent to have. I'd love to be able to just seamlessly go into a random other accent that I've been exposed to all my life, but is not necessarily my own. And you have. I really wish I could just easily go into that accent, that Geordie.
Oh, amazing.
I mean, I'm not sure you've ever attempted the Geordie on the podcast, have you?
No.
It's probably time, isn't it? Right now, Michael's cleaning his keyboard.
No. No.
Do you? No. So what brand of peanut? Michael, what brand of peanut butter would you buy if you were buying one, Nathan?
Me, if I was buying one, all of them probably.
Yeah. Do you not have peanut butter in the house?
No. I'm fair. Well, we'll come on to that. We do have something peanut butter related in the house, but in terms of actual, I don't think so. Certainly not that I'm aware that we've bought. I would imagine just because of me being a noob, it would end up being Sunpat or something like that. But just because it's a name I recognise, not because it's any good.
It's not a good peanut butter.
Maybe.
God!
What are you doing, Michael? Does Claire have this?
He's just dribbled.
Yeah, he's just taking a big spoonful of peanut butter in his mouth. And then...
Okay, so I set myself my own little personal food challenge. I found a little pocket of really dry bit at the bottom, and I thought, I wonder what that's like. Really, really dry.
Oh, fuck.
So he dribbled it back into the jar, is what he did.
No, it's still good, though.
Michael, brands, peanut butter brands.
Yeah, I'm like used to it. I really like the Whole Earth. This Morrison's one is bloody lovely.
Yeah.
Because it sort of doesn't taste like it's totally natural. It doesn't taste particularly unsalty.
No.
It doesn't taste particularly unsweet.
It's
just nice.
The Meridian one, for example, tastes very neutral and very earthy and very healthy. It's great.
Very earthy,
Whereas this Morrison's one, you do find yourself double checking the ingredients, but it is just peanuts. Yeah,
peanuts. Just out of interest, Stuart, you said that obviously the Morrison one was your favourite, but if you had to go for a branded one, if you had to go for a
Meridian,
yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it'd be Meridian.
I'm sorry I had to get strong on you there and actually get an official answer out of you. I do apologise. I don't like to be, to speak to my guests that way. I just said something quite interesting on this.
Go on.
So you're saying, like, would you rather eat with the peanuts or the peanut butter?
Yeah.
This says contains approximately 23 portions.
Right.
Mm.
So it's quite a big commitment, is all I'm saying.
I mean, I don't think you needed to read the jar letter for that, did you?
Probably not.
Is it possible to be drunk on peanut butter? Because I think Michael might be a bit...
At least getting tipsy on it.
Dear listeners, it's very weird watching him because all he's done for the last 10 minutes is stare down into his jar and just...
Oh, this is brilliant. My mouth's seriously dry though.
I spend every other Tuesday doing this.
Peanut butter mouthwash. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, we've had peanut butter soda, haven't we, Michael?
Have we?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. There's a review. Go and check it out. Go and check it out on YouTube.
I don't remember that.
Now that we've broken down peanut butter on its own, what about combinations? What is it that we particularly enjoy it with? Michael prefers it with his penis, apparently, but Stuart, yourself?
Peanut butter and chocolate is incredible.
Yeah.
I do like the peanut butter and fruit vibe. So one of the things that I like to make for myself is porridge with mixed berries in it. So I buy bags of frozen mixed berries, make my porridge, put the frozen mixed berries in, like for the last minute and a half in the microwave, which warms them up, breaks them down a bit, makes them into an almost kind of jammy consistency. A little bit of honey or a little bit of maple syrup and a nice dollop of peanut butter in the middle of it, and that is absolutely incredible. I wouldn't reckon that'd be too far off Slimming World friendly either, Nathan. If you were careful with your measurements and stuff, frozen berries, skimmed milk or semi-skimmed milk, whatever that is, a healthy extra B or whatever. It's like knowledge. Bit of peanut butter. Yeah, it's really nice. So I do like that peanut butter and jam. I've never eaten a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I would. Is this an appropriate time to talk to you about use of peanut butter in cooking, or is that?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the rest of my segment's sort of not really related to that, so this is as good an opportunity as ever. He's hawking his own book.
I cooked a meal last week, and I wanted to tell you about it because it's one of the most delicious meals I've ever cooked. So the meal I cooked last week was called something like sweet potato groundnut stew. So it's from this cookbook that I've got here. This cookbook's called The Green Roasting Tin, and it's by someone called FRUK. And it's vegan and vegetarian one-dish dinners. So these are all one-dish dinners that you cook in a roasting tin. I cooked this sweet potato and groundnut stew last week. Since then, we've had a further 2 meals from this cookbook that have both been absolutely incredible. They're fantastic. All of which have been vegan, and it's only the one last night that we had, which was an orzotti, where Gemma said she'd be tempted to unvegan it and have a bit of parmesan with it, but everything else we've had has been completely vegan. Let me find this recipe for you because it was incredible. I'm going to make it again because it just blew me away. It's one of the tastiest things I've ever cooked. Getting
that on the old Amazon wish list, I reckon that looks like a lovely little bit.
It's an incredible cook, and all of the meals so far that we have had have been you're talking an hour in terms of prep time and cooking time, and bearing in mind that the cooking time is in the oven, it's hardly hard work. I cannot find the bloody recipe. So basically what it was sliced sweet potato, a whole kilo of sweet potato, a couple of cloves of garlic, a bit of grated ginger, and then and some onions, and you cook all that in the oven, and then you pour over that a mixture of stock tinned tomatoes and peanut butter, about 50 grams of peanut butter. You mix it all together, you pour that over the stuff, then put it back into the oven to cook down, serve it, put some fresh coriander and some crushed peanuts on top of it to serve, and have it with some rice. And it's basically kind of, if you think kind of Malaysian curry, rather than somewhere between Indian and Thai food. That beautiful peanutty, almost coconut milky, that richness, but it didn't even have any coconut milk in, and it was absolutely incredible. And I think that's the first time I've ever cooked with peanut butter. I've had peanut butter on a burger. I think that's something that's been brought up a lot on the social media. I'm a big fan of peanut butter on a burger. Ideally replacing the cheese. I think to have cheese and peanut butter is too much, so maybe burger, bacon, peanut butter, and maybe some kind of like a habanero jam. So something sweet and spicy in there as well. But this is the first time I've ever cooked with it, and it was absolutely incredible. Do you know what? I can't recommend this cook. I can't believe I'm on the podcast recommending a cookbook. I never cook recipes. And I've done 2. Gemma's done 1 from this. I did harissa aubergines the other night with some couscous, and that was just aubergine with tomatoes, harissa and almonds. Absolutely gorgeous. It literally took an hour, and 45 minutes of that was in the oven. It's again, there's often between a tablespoon and a couple of 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil in these recipes. So not necessarily Slimming World bang on, but in terms of ingredients wise, sweet potatoes, Well, the aubergine one was, aubergines, tomatoes, onions, almonds, just all good stuff. Nothing bad in there at all.
Go on, sorry.
Go on, mate.
What was the name of the book, sorry?
It's called The Green Roasting Tin, and it's by FRUK Mini. Yeah, this was recommended by one of Gemma's friends at work, and Gemma got it off the interwebs, and it's... I'm not going to say it's transformed our lives, but I'm looking here, chipotle roasted sweet corn with squash, black beans, feta and lime.
Ooh.
It just looks... And we're talking about here 10 minutes prep time, 45 minutes cooking time. It just looks incredible. We're having this for tea this week. Without a doubt, I'm having that.
On that corn thing, from Oaxaca, we had some corn dish once, and it was fucking unreal. And it just made you sort of think, oh, this is sweet corn, and yet somehow they made it just such an incredibly tasty dish. And point being that what you've just was it habanero chili beans or that sounds amazing. I could definitely munch that.
One of the things that struck me from making recipes from this book is how much I think I over spice and I overcomplicate when I'm making something. So, for example, the sweet potato peanut butter groundnut stew had garlic, ginger, salt in it. That's all there was, and then some chopped coriander on top. That's all there was in terms of... Oh, sorry. This was a couple of chilies, but you spike them, and then you roast them in with the stuff, and then pull them out afterwards. It was great. And the flavours were so intense and so rich and so complex. And I'd be thinking, to get this, I need to put some cumin in. I need to do this. I need to do this. No, simple things. So it has made me seriously think more about following recipes rather than just making stuff up. But everything we've had so far has been good enough that I'd happily, we kind of have a fortnightly, 3-weekly rotation of meals. Everything we've had so far, I would happily put on the rotation. But this sweet potato groundnut stew is a wow dish, like a dinner party dish. It was just incredible. Can't recommend.
She's done a couple of other books as well, also about roasting tins. So there's one that's quick, there's one that's normal. Yeah, Rukmini. Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to say Rukmini as if I know that's a female name. The only reason I know she's a female is because I've got a picture of her in front of me.
Cool. It's she knows what she's talking about. This woman.
Oh bloody hell! #1 bestseller book that is.
Is it the Green Roasting Tin?
Yeah.
There you go. I didn't even realise it. I'm zeitgeist me. I'm right with my finger on the pulse.
Well, there you go. Without even trying.
Exactly.
Which is
I'm going to buy that. I'll buy that today. I need to get more veg in. So.
Yeah.
Can you spare some change? We've got ears to feed. We come to you with open hands, but instead of on the streets, we're begging on the podcast. Do you want this episode to be our last? Will you please go to Patreon and donate some cash? If you enjoy the Food Review UK content on YouTube and here on the podcast, then please consider heading to patreon.com/foodreviewuk and making a small donation.
This is going a bit off topic, right? But I've got to say it.
Go on,
chicken dishes. Like chicken breast or whatever. You chop up a chicken breast or whatever. I don't know if any of you listeners or you guys are the same. But sometimes when you're eating them, you're just like, fucking hell, isn't chicken boring and horrible?
Yeah.
And isn't this dish with big chunks of chicken breast in just fucking horrible? Even if you work really hard on it and try and do like a really nicely flavoured dish, it is let down by the chicken. Well, guys, I've had a revelation.
Yeah.
Those mini breast fillets you can get, you can probably do it with a normal sized breast as well. Very, very thinly slice it. You don't even need to brown it, just cook it. I've done it a handful of times in the last couple of weeks. I've done things like They've tended to be sort of stickier dishes, and a way to achieve that is, so for example, what I had for dinner tonight was this very thinly sliced chicken. I could go through the whole ingredients actually. A little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic, very thinly sliced chicken. Then some licorice soy sauce that I've got that I probably mentioned on the podcast before. I'm sure you could do it with normal soy sauce. Well, you could absolutely do it with normal soy sauce because it was a sort of a recipe that a friend at work recommended. A little bit of brown sugar. Cook that away for a little bit and then add a little bit of a corn flour slurry, which thickens it up. And there's not much sauce in there because obviously you don't want to use too much soy sauce because it's so salty. But the sweetness and the saltiness, tiny little bit of corn flour slurry, I just thickened it right up and made it all sticky so it coats the chicken. And the difference in texture is absolutely incredible. And I have to say as well, but again, people might think this is a bit weird, but this is a factual piece of information. My wife Claire tends to get a headache from eating chicken. Something I've googled it and I can't really find anything specifically about why that might be, but she does not get a headache with this very thinly sliced chicken. The texture is a million times better, and that is a cooking tip.
Sorry, chicken gives your wife a headache?
Yeah, basically. Cut a long story short.
Right.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I feel like I've heard that before. I feel like you've told us that before. That rings a bell for some reason.
Possibly.
But fair play. Well, I hope her chicken roasted headaches go.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I'll pass it on.
Yeah, if you could. I mean, certainly.
Well, you'll see her on Sunday.
True for missings. So, Michael, let's get back on track after 20 minutes about non-peanut butter related food items. Yeah, what are your favourite combos? What do you like to pair it with? Not pair it, but, I mean, maybe pairs.
Love it with chocolate. I guess my favourite, though, is one of my all-time favourite dishes, and that's chicken satay, which I would say is usually made with peanut butter rather than just peanuts, so I think it still counts.
Did you try my wife's satay recipe?
Yes.
You didn't like it, did you?
Hated it. Wow.
It was one of the better ones I've tried, but I will say that I have never been entirely happy with any chicken satay recipe that I've made, and I'd say I've probably made about 8, 10. It's never been close enough to a restaurant for my liking. That was one of the better ones.
Slagging off my wife's cooking, fine.
Awful.
Absolutely didn't say that.
Well, said that his wife's recipe wasn't good enough to overturn your poor cooking. So basically the same.
So it wasn't restaurant. Yeah, I'm saying it wasn't restaurant quality. It was like, I usually like to have satay from something like Noodle Nation or local Chinese, I guess. That's the only ones I like.
All right, fair enough. Other than that, any other sort of combos?
Not really in cooking. So my combinations. Actually, I'll tell you what. Jess, one of the old presenters on the channel, still lurking in the Food Review UK official presenters network chat. Actually,
hi Jess.
In a couple of years, don't know if she listens. She introduced me to the world of dipping slices of apple into peanut butter. Yeah. And when I first heard about it, I thought it sounded absolutely mental. I tried it. Oh my! Oh, and that's just reminded me. So it's fantastic. It's the combination of the very juicy and sweet apple juice that breaks down with the texture and it creates this lovely sort of liquid. That's just reminded me. Actually, I'll tell you what. This might trump the chicken satay. Actually, back when I worked for HBoss, there used to be a sort of smoothie place down in Aylesbury Town. I think it was called Juice Junction. I think because there was at one point there was actually two: the Zumo Juice Bar and Juice Junction. Now the Zumo Juice Bar peanut butter smoothie was really nice. It was like bananas, peanut butter, blah blah blah. Now the Juice Junction peanut butter, and I pretty much do know the recipe, so you guys can try it at home, and you'd probably be able to get not a million miles away. So it was peanut butter, a big dollop, fresh orange juice, frozen yogurt, a squirt of honey, and a load of ice. So this drink, I would probably feel comfortable going as far as to say this is my favourite drink I've ever had in my entire life. It was peanutty, sweet from the orange juice, zesty from the orange juice, and slightly sharp. It was creamy from the yogurt, and it was refreshing and ice cold from the ice. It was crisp, and it was, I don't know why I'm being mocked, I just don't know. It was wonderful, and I have actually tried making it a few times since, and I definitely got pretty close. Never quite as close as Juice Junction got it, but because I should say this frozen yogurt they had was like in a big tub, so like in an industrial sized tub. It honestly looked more like sort of soft serve vanilla ice cream, but I don't think that would work quite as well. I'm not sure the vanilla would work quite as well, and the richness, I'm not sure you would want that in it. But yeah, that thing, oh my god, I've just thought about that. It was so good.
People, going back to the apple and peanut butter thing, people do celery and peanut butter as well, don't they?
Yeah.
I can get in the sea.
Yeah, I'm curious by both of these. I don't think I've had even the apple and peanut butter either. So both of them are curious combinations to me, but I'd like to try them just to sort of tick them off the list and see whether I like them or not. But...
Oh yeah, definitely try the apple's sensational. Definitely try that.
Cool. I imagine I'd be more on board with that than the celery one, because I don't know. I do like celery, but it's very just watery. It doesn't really add much to flavour wise, so it just feels like you might as well just eat with peanut butter.
But doesn't it add the things that the peanut butter's missing? Doesn't it add that
moisture,
that snap and the moisture?
Maybe. Yeah. Like I say, I wouldn't mind trying. In terms of my comments,
the man who said it could get in the sea is now suddenly defending.
No, it was.
I'm trying my best to make Nathan give peanut butter a second chance, like a fair crack of the whip.
Give PBs a chance. I have nothing against peanut butter necessarily. Just not. I don't know. I just obviously haven't had it in the right context, I guess. Other than these suggestions, which is with chocolate, as everyone said. I mean, peanut butter Kit Kat is chunky. Is correct. Just an absolutely divine chocolate bar. Reese's are a great brand, although I've gone off them a touch. Just I think I've got a bit oversaturated with Reese's and just sort of chocolate and peanut butter on its own. I just need something else in there, like a bit of wafer, just to mix it up a little bit. That said, still very much enjoy a Reese's peanut butter burger. Phenomenal. First time I ever had it, I thought, this is mental. Why are people putting peanut butter on a burger? This is clearly not supposed to be, but oh my days. Peanut butter, the right type of peanut butter and the right amount of it in a burger is just divine. And as Stuart said, I mean, I've had it without, but you do need something like a chili jam in there just to, I don't know, just to sweeten it up a touch, just to take the savoury edge off, because obviously a burger itself is very savoury usually anyway. You're throwing a very savoury spread in there as well, so you're just intensifying everything. So you just need that sort of sweet hit of chili jam in there just to take just give a distraction from all the savoury notes, but unreal in a burger. I guess these aren't strictly combinations, but peanut butter in milkshakes and ice cream, things like that, amazing, obviously. Really, really enjoy an ice cold peanut butter delight. And shout out also to my wife who baked me a birthday cake. Oh God, I can't remember how long ago it was now, but probably about 5 or 6 years ago. For my birthday, she baked me a chocolate cake, but it had peanut butter buttercream as the filling and topping, with Reese's peanut butter cups placed all around the outside as a peanut butter crown, and it was incredible. I will see if I can find a photo of that, because it was very good. And I'm not just saying that because she's my wife either, because she doesn't listen, so don't need to. But no, it was divine. Very much enjoy that as a cake filling, topping.
Yep.
Good times.
Yep. Good times indeed were had by all.
I'd be very interested in trying a chocolate eclair with a strip of like peanut butter icing on top.
God, no.
Yeah, I was going to say you've gone the wrong way there, my friend.
It needs to have some. It needs to have some peanut butter
cream.
Oh, imagine an eclair, but the inside is basically a peanut butter cheesecake filling.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what, I actually really like the fresh cream of chocolate eclair, and I find that
fresh cream's great. It's not as good as peanut butter cheesecake. Well, how about it has chocolate on top, because I think you need that, but then inside it's got a layer of a sweetened peanut butter cream, the type that you get in a Reese's, and then the fresh cream, and then the fresh cream. So it's got all of the elements.
Perfect. Or a peanut butter caramel, then fresh cream, then the chocolate on top.
I think you should all make this.
Yeah, Maverick Bacon would be able to do that, surely.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kelly. Just before we move on, I thought I'd bring to your attention. This is a thing that I didn't realise existed until very recently. We've actually just purchased a jar of it recently and had my first experience with it. Peanut butter powder.
The peanut hottie stuff.
I'm not sure if this. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is a new thing. I genuinely don't know. It's new to me. We do have a jar of that in the household right this moment. Tried it recently with some porridge. In terms of flavour, certainly very much hit the right notes for peanut butter. I haven't had it as a sort of, because obviously you can make it up with, I assume, water and then use that as a spread. So I will have to try that at some point and let you know whether it's any good or certainly whether it's any the comparison to normal peanut butter. But the big pro for it, the reason for it is healthy. Or not healthy, but more healthier than a jar of peanut butter. As we discussed, I believe it was on the Man v Fat episode, already referenced. There's quite a lot of calories in a jar of peanut butter, and this is approximately about 70% lower.
It was at that moment I was seductively licking some peanut butter off a spoon.
Seductively.
Natural fats, isn't it?
Yeah. How much left of that jar now, Michael?
Oh, so what I've been doing, guys, I've been having very, very small pieces. You've probably seen me go at it quite a lot, but I've only been having sort of much every time.
Okay, Michael, if that's what you need to tell us. Right. Last thing on this. I printed off an article, from Mental Floss, with various things that you can do with peanut butter other than eat them. Fucking isn't on there, so I'm afraid to say, Michael. So that must be number 26 on the list. But I just want to quickly rattle through these and ask whether A, you've done it, or B, you would consider doing it.
Oh, lovely.
So removing gum. Either of you used peanut butter to try and remove gum? I think this is predominantly from hair.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's on The Simpsons, isn't it?
Yes. I think you're supposed to sort of slather it on, let it dry, and then supposedly it allows gum to be pried away easier. So it's not something either of you have tried or seen happen in the real world?
No.
Stuart, you're a teacher. Is gum in the hair a big school predicament?
I've never come across it. Kids don't come to me with the problems though. They know they're not going to get anywhere, so they don't bother.
I vaguely seem to recall a situation where I might have had gum on one of my t-shirts or something, and I vaguely recall that I might have tried putting some peanut butter on there, but I wouldn't commit to that being a genuine memory. I'm not sure.
Right, fair enough.
Oh, Stuart's just tried the 1 year out of date Reese's.
How is it?
It's great. It looks looks a little bit odd.
Mm-hmm.
The chocolate's slightly matte.
Yeah,
but it's fine.
Fair.
Delicious.
Good stuff. The next one we got is so this is eating it still, but not necessarily for the I don't know, for pleasure. Treating hiccups. Apparently, it's a lesser known purported hiccup cure. Something you heard of, used, done? Would try?
I wouldn't bother trying. I have the perfect hiccup cure.
Apparently, it says the idea is that slowly consuming something thick and gooey, like peanut butter, will break up your swallowing and breathing patterns and dispel the hiccups. It also sounds way more enjoyable than holding your breath or standing on your head. I mean,
I'm thinking of something cheaper that's gooey.
If someone has hiccups, you say it's only ever works once. You say to them, if you hiccup again, I will give you 20 quid. And they then want to hiccup and cannot hiccup, and it cures their hiccups. You incentivise the hiccuping, and it cures the hiccups.
What about if they do hiccup?
They don't. They genuinely don't. I do it all the time at school when kids have got hiccups.
Oh, so they come to you for hiccups, but not gum in their hair.
Yeah. They've got, there's a level. There's a level at which... I don't teach in Liverpool, Michael.
You sure?
There's a level that they know that I'm comfortable helping them with. Hiccups is about the top part of that sliding scale. Anything more serious than hiccups, go and find someone else. Yeah.
Fair enough. Apparently, it makes good bait for fish. Now, do either of you fish, or are you one of the cool people that doesn't fish?
I don't. I have heard about that.
What, fishing?
I've heard about peanut butter with bait.
Yeah, one of my friends was a big fisherman back in the day. I remember him using peanut butter all the time. So
really,
yeah. Apparently, according to this, peanut butter sandwiches make some of the best bait for catching codfish, catfish, carp, and bluegill.
Nice.
There you go. Prepare it on stale bread and garnish it with birdseed or garlic to make it especially irresistible.
Oh.
I mean, fucking hell, it's gourmet fishing. Repairing scratches.
Oh.
Depending on how long you've been holding on to it, your favourite CD or DVD likely has a scratch or two. All you need is some peanut butter to extend the lifespan of your collection. Lightly rub the damaged surface with the peanut butter, set it down for a short while, and then remove the excess with a cloth. The scratches will still be there, but the oils from the peanuts will temporarily fill them in and smooth them out. You can also try the trick with your scratched up wood furniture.
I get the furniture because I believe rubbing walnuts on wood. If you scratch furniture, rubbing a walnut on it will do it. The CD thing sounds like an April Fool.
It does, but maybe it's worth trying.
Yeah, yeah. You try on your CD, and then let us know.
Okay, we'll do. One for me and Stuart here. Oh no, sorry, wrong one. But anyway, actually, it doesn't really apply to Stuart either. Use it as a shaving cream.
Brilliant.
Apparently. If you're open to mixing up your grooming routine, consider swapping your shaving gel with peanut butter. It's cheaper, works just as well, and as a bonus, nourishes your skin with natural oils.
Oh, it's cheaper?
Apparently.
I mean, we need to see you shave with peanut butter.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has got to happen. This is the next one. This is the next video on your channel. This is the follow-up to the Marmite mayonnaise.
No. I don't traditional shave anyway. I use a razor, so it's not going to happen.
You use an electric razor?
Yeah.
Like an old man?
Yeah. Because I need it. Because I use it for up here, so I may as well use it for down here.
Right.
And down there.
Manscaping.
Oh, mix and match.
Yeah, they don't mention peanut butter down here for manscaping, but maybe I just missed it. Removing stickers, apparently. Peanut butter works the same magic on hard-to-peel stickers as it does on gum. Once you have your new purchase, peel off as much of the prized sticker as possible and scrub away the stubborn residue.
Well, sorry, what stickers? It's not like adults use stickers all the time, is it?
No, Michael, but sometimes you buy things and they have like a label on it, so that's been stuck down and is a particular.
What, you're going to... Nah, this is all a load of bollocks, mate. You've got this from fucking rotten sillybuggers.com.
Rotten.com.
Oh, God, that's a blast I haven't done that in a while.
That might be the last one. Oh, no, the last one.
This was like 25.
Yeah, well, I'm not reading all of them because some of them are just ridiculous. Like, have it in a peanut butter cup. Well, what are you fucking saying? I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Use it as a conditioner. I've heard that one before.
Oh.
And make a face mask. Pretty much all stuff we've done before.
Just cover yourself head to toe in peanut butter. That's what this article is.
Just live in peanut butter.
Yeah, this article's basically just saying you'll never stick to anything.
I mean, just saying it. So the same properties that make peanut butter a nourishing hair treatment also make it a soothing face mask. So I'm guessing from this, Michael must have an incredibly smooth penis from his jokes earlier. And the final one on my list that I've highlighted is you can shine leather with it, apparently.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh.
Your dull leather is only a few dabs of peanut butter away from looking as good as new. Rub it into the material you want to shine by making tiny circles with your fingers, then use a towel or washcloth to wipe it off. Imagine your chair just smelling of peanut butter.
Maybe I'll buy those £800 shoes that I was talking about before and polish them with peanut butter.
Does Dawn Gives Shines, or whatever the name is?
Dawn Star ASMR.
Jason Dawnstar Shines. Yeah.
That's all I've got. So, Michael, social media.
What's up, man?
This is Timmy. Say hi, Timmy. Hi. Timmy doesn't know what podcast to listen to because people don't leave a review. Isn't that right? That's right. And isn't it also true you're not an orphan? Absolutely. There you have it. Conclusive evidence that orphans, and definitely not me using a higher pitched voice, have a harder life because you don't leave a podcast review. Reviews today. Save an orphan.
Over to social media, is it? Right. So we ask you every single time we do a podcast, we ask you to submit your questions, comments, and this time, hey guys, we're doing nuts, or peanut butter at least, so we ask for your double entendres as well. Maddie Madworld said nuts, all capital letters. Finn Rogers, can MJ recreate Vine of the...
Sorry. Was that the end of Maddie Madworld's comment?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just nuts, yeah.
All right,
nuts.
Fair enough.
Finn Rogers, can MJ recreate the Vine of the baby covered in peanut butter? How's Nate doing with the diet? And has MJ made peanut butter mayo yet?
Ooh.
So sort of 3 questions there. Nate, how are you getting on?
Diet's going very well still. I'm currently up to 4 stone and 5 pounds as of last night.
Good going.
Wow.
Yeah, no end goal in sight. Nothing that I want to get to in particular. Just want to keep going until I get to what I consider to be a better way of life, I guess. I mean, I've set myself targets in terms of things I want to be able to do, and that's kind of where I am really. Things like,
fit through a
going
cat
to
flap.
a theme park. Fit through a cat flap, for example. But I don't like to admit that one because it sounds like I'm going to burgle people. But no, genuinely, things like going to a theme park and essentially being able to fit on any ride without having to worry. Because fat lad and quite embarrassing when not able to get on one, as we've discussed in the past. So already have my sights set on the back end of this summer to be going to. I think we're aiming for Fright Night at Thorpe Park to test out our weight loss to see if we can get on them there rides.
Wow, I look forward to going.
Yeah, already discussing the Merlin passes, whether it's worthwhile getting and shit like that. So yeah.
Wow, love this.
So, but yeah, in terms of the actual weight loss itself, going very well. Thank you very much for who was that? Finn Rogers.
Finn Rogers.
Thank you very much, Finn Rogers.
Ironically, somewhat. I don't really understand the Vine of the Baby reference, and no, I don't think I've ever made peanut butter mayo. Frankie Funko says...
Would you eat peanut butter mayo?
I'd try it.
Yeah.
I mean, we know you would, Nate. Marmite mayo boy over there.
Yeah, fucking Marmite. Yeah, do that. Frankie Funko, where's all your favourite of the peanut butter combos?
We'll sort of discuss that.
Peanut butter and chocolate is the best, isn't it? Can we
right.
all agree with that?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Everyone loves that chocolate combo and jam combo.
Correct.
But what are your thoughts on meat and peanut butter, i.e. burgers, satay and peanut butters and fries? Yeah, we've discussed most of them. We're not on peanut butter and fries. I'd definitely be up for that. That sounds fucking good.
I would try that. Fries with some kind of satay sauce would be incredible, obviously.
Proper, literally right out of the fryer.
Yeah.
Real crispy, real salty, real. Yeah. I mean, not for me, obviously, because I'm just literally raved about how fucking thin I'm getting.
One thing I've not mentioned is peanut butter and jam sandwiches from America are typically made with grape jam or grape jelly, and that particular combination is fucking amazing. To be fair, they're on to a winner. Amelia Hills says the ultimate question: crunchy or smooth? Sort of covered that.
Yeah, crunchy.
We've got some
both.
Little reply here from Leon Tricker on there. Says smooth or bit of crunch. Love that.
Correct.
Good reference.
Yeah.
Bongers.
Someone in my town used to get called Peanut Butter Balls Bob, but now he's Dreadlock Bob.
So can I just interject here? Anybody who isn't following Bong Lungs on Twitter, can you please now?
Oh, mum.
Go. I mean, Bongers. If your only exposure to Bong Lungs is this podcast, you already get a decent flavour of who he is.
Yeah.
If you follow him on Instagram, you get a slight, a more visual version of his character. Twitter, however, it's just unscripted madness, and I mean that in the absolute best way possible.
I think he just doesn't know how Twitter works. Like, at least 3 or 4 times a week, he will tweet something to me, but he won't at me. He'll just write Mr. Bullock or Stuart or whatever, and it's just pure luck if I see it. He'll just direct a tweet at me, but not at me in it.
And yet you probably will see it.
Yeah, I'll see it and reply.
Yeah. Got another comment here. This one's from Bong Lungs.
Bongers.
Stoners love Reese's like Bong Lungs loves FRUK. Got another comment here. This one's from Bong Lungs.
Bongers.
One more thing. I fucking love a peanut butter Kit Kat because it's the bee's knees. And what's with people putting peanut butter on burgers? Devil emoticon thing.
Peanut butter Kit Kat's great.
He's
one of the best.
Why has he let himself down?
Because he's saying that he's saying he doesn't like them on burgers.
I'm not sure I'm not sure he's saying he doesn't like it. I just don't think he's ever had one.
He's saying maybe
he lives on an island. He lives on an island. Come on.
I'm just trying to find his just so that I can give him the shout out that he does deserve. It's at Bong BONG LUNGGZ. Please go and follow him. We don't often do shout outs for people, but man, the boy deserves it for the joy that he gives me on a daily basis on Twitter.
Yeah. The Laminator says, "Oh no, I don't like peanut butter."
Oh,
sorry to do that, mate.
This one's from Sweaty Thumbsticks, aka Luke, my pal Luke. He has been really heaping on the praise. He now absolutely loves this podcast, guys. He often says, "What do you say?" Let's read out a quote. Actually, he sent me a message the other day.
I was thinking because obviously, as you said, he's only just started listening fairly recently.
Yeah,
and his involvement on the
never even been a podcast person.
Yeah, and his involvement on these social media questions obviously ramped up in the last few episodes. So yeah, it's glad that he's enjoying it.
I don't. He messaged me this the other day. I don't actually explicitly remember when I said this, but he said, "I've accidentally shit on my hand before, but I'm not saying that is my favourite thing you've ever said." is what he said sent to me. Anyway, he said, when you're making a peanut butter sandwich, do you still use regular butter? I find it takes some of the stickiness away from the peanut butter and makes the sandwich easier to eat. Kind of like jam/jelly helps the texture, but this way you just get that peanut flavour. Interesting. I can't say I've ever tried that.
I can't say I've ever had a peanut butter sandwich, so...
Oh, wow.
That's
weird.
I mean, not knowingly. I think I've got a memory of having one as a kid and not enjoying it. It doesn't strike me as being a sandwich food. I think I'd try a PB&J. But...
Yeah, but on toast, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to recognise that's fairly similar, right?
There are similarities, but I think it's different. I'm not sure about the peanut. I'm not sure about peanut butter on raw bread, on untoasted bread.
Raw bread on dough. Just fucking dough with a splodge of peanut butter on. Yeah, I'm not sure about either. It's fucking awful. At least let it rest. Luke C99. I seem to be intolerant to peanuts, but not allergic, as always make me ill, but hasn't killed me yet.
Does that make it?
Keep trying.
Brilliant.
Is it made you stronger? Isn't that the thing?
Yeah, that's what that singer said. Who sang that song? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Get a little longer. Is it Kelly Clarkson? Yeah. Great.
I did have a 3-cup pack of Reese's and was absolutely grey.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
We got a comment here from a gentleman by the name of
Bongers.
You homies are the best podcast, hands down. There's no argument about it because it's facts.
Correct.
Oh, thank you very much, Bongers.
Leon here says, I'm about Stu's age, he said, early 40s.
Yeah.
And wondered if any of you remember the classic Sunpat TV adverts. Related question, is Sunpat still king, or do you go for one of the fancy brands they have these days?
Yeah, Sunpat's dead. Sunpat, I'm not sure, I do remember something about like a little kid with a hat. Yeah, kid with a hat.
Oh, I mean,
wasn't there a thing about him being dead? Wasn't there like
isn't there a thing about all kids and adverts being dead apart from Gossie?
I'm sure there was a.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a like an
this
urban
does
myth.
vaguely ring a bell. Yeah, baseball.
I think there was.
No, there was one advert where a kid was so unbearable that there was rumours he killed himself, wasn't there? I don't think that was Sunpat though.
Was it not?
Oh, that was Frosties.
Oh, that's the one I'm thinking. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
This advert was on when I was a kid.
Is this the baseball one you're watching?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. 100%. That was a long campaign then, if it was back in the Stone Age when Stuart was a kid. And
brilliant.
Great stuff.
Leon Truck has also said smooth or a bit of crunch, so we covered that. And finally, last question today, Leon Tricker says, do you stay traditional or indulge in alternative nutty butts, e.g. cashew?
Well,
we can't discuss that because it's a peanut butter episode. So thank you very much for yeah, I love a bit of cashew butter.
Never had them.
I literally have never had any alternative nut butter.
Honestly, you guys come out with such fucking weird comments sometimes. Can't you just buy some?
Sorry, I've never eaten almond butter.
Why would I? What about coconut? What about donut butter? I'd go through that. It should be. Yeah. I'd love donuts spreading my sandwich.
But Tesco went through that phase a couple of years ago, didn't they? They did the old custard cream spread and the bourbon spread. They were fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't mention that in the combos of peanut butter and a donut. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Like the Krispy Kreme Reese's and stuff like that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You love donut, they don't.
Nathan, stop fapping that pen against your face.
I get them on camera.
It's the sound more than anything.
Oh, it's getting me off. Right, that's social media done.
Thank you very much for everyone who joined in with the social media. As ever, a lovely bunch of coconuts, I was going to say, but it's not really a nut, is it? Thank you very much.
Monkey nuts.
Before we close out the show, because we are coming to the end, I thought it'd be worthwhile just having a quick chat about something that came up on the last show, which Stuart, myself, and Michael Jameson have been, I wouldn't say tirelessly working on, because it's involved about half a dozen texts, but we've been discussing the possibility and the expansion of the idea of a food mascot death match tournament, which was, as I say, mentioned at the very end of the previous episode with Alex and Sarah, and it is almost certainly going to be going ahead this summer, although we haven't sort of discussed or decided on a date, but I would imagine sometime in June or something like that we will drop an episode on this. But in the meantime, before that episode comes, there is some work for you, dear listeners, to get involved in. So basically, the idea that I've pitched to the other two, and I think we've fairly settled on this, is that there will be 16 fighters in total. So we've got a last 16, a round of quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then a final to find out who the ultimate champion will be. Those 16 competitors will be decided by not just us, but you as well. And what we are pitching the idea to you to do is to give us suggestions for mascots and then vote on them. And the 4 fighters with the most votes will make up the team for the fans. There will be another 4 fighters proposed by Michael, another 4 fighters proposed by myself, and a final 4 by Stuart. That way we can not only find out who the ultimate winner is, but also have a winning coach, I guess you want to call them, or something similar to that. And yeah, I mean, I don't know why that we would do that, but it'd be something fun. So if we do any other tournaments, we can follow a similar style and see who's basically the best at predicting winners or creating winners of various tournaments. So,
brilliant idea.
Yeah, I thought it got a bit more fan interaction. I also thought it meant that, you know, we don't just take all the best fighters and, you know, leave a load of scraps for them to fight over, yeah. or also that we don't announce a bunch of them and then have to go, oh, can you pick ones but not these 12? Mm-hmm. So I just thought this way we can say, right, you guys pick, and then, you know. So yeah, we will be undertaking a vote. Now, where can you vote on this? I propose that we make this an exclusive for the FRUK Unwrapped and fans group.
Correct.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And so that means the only way that you can be involved in this is by joining the FRUK Unwrapped and fans group on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, make a profile.
Yeah.
It's not our problem. Deal with it. If you are already on Facebook and not a fan of the page, or sorry, a member of the page, then head over there immediately and join, because it then gets you into this competition and also just a barrel of laughs on a daily basis.
Banter. Yeah, pickle news with Mark Can.
Oh,
it's been one of my favourite things this week. Yeah,
Mark Can and his pickle news.
Yeah,
he's pickle correspondent.
Yeah, brilliant, incredible scenes.
Yeah, it's become
out on the field.
Yeah, he's. I had to go at him the other day. Earlier, he was pitching some news that had nothing to do with pickles, and I don't know. Stay in your lane, Mark. We've got people dealing with the other stuff. We need someone dedicated to pickles.
Well, if anyone can,
Mark can.
Hey.
Oh, I love it. So yeah, I'm genuinely excited for this. We'll obviously have to settle on a date, and yeah, I think we'll probably do a draft beforehand to find out our 4 fighters.
Yeah.
And actually saying that, when I said about the top 4 of the fans' votes getting top, that won't necessarily be true, because they'll be involved in the draft as well. So it will just produce an ordering of their fighters and who they might get or might not get. But so we'll do a show on that. We'll do the draft, and then we'll do. Do we do the draft on the night and then the same fight, or should we do it in 2 separate batches?
No, we do the draft earlier on, and then we produce the bracket. We'll do the drafting and appetizers.
Yeah.
And then we'll produce the bracket, and then we'll do an episode where we do the death match.
Yeah. I think I think I have in mind one or two that I think might be favourites.
I'm pinning a lot of my hopes on one man at the moment.
No, that's me. That's my one. And I said that person, so you can't even steal.
You don't know who I'm saying. You don't even know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I do,
no,
mate. Mine's the best one.
Interesting. Man, as in human man.
A human man, yeah.
Well, really? Oh, okay.
Is he jolly?
He's quite jolly. He's not sweet corn based.
Mine's not. I'm not sure mine's human. So
I'm not sure you're human.
We have discussed this, but I'm quite adamant. No team ups. I think Snap, Crackle, and Pop are out. You can have one of them.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be mono.
Which
I think it's got to be mono and mono.
If you're going to pick one from Snap, Crackle, and Pop, who are you having?
Oh,
that's got to be Pop, innit? Is it a red one?
Pop.
I need to see them. I need to see what they look like.
Who's the curly hair blonde one? He's gonna put anyone off, isn't he?
Snap.
A little dickhead, isn't he? Little blonde curly one, little twat. He is.
Which Crackle is Crackle not the most aggressive sounding name? Crackle. They're all quite aggressive, aren't they?
Yeah, but sometimes you have a pop at someone, didn't you?
You do, yeah. And when wrestlers come out, they get a big
slipping
pop.
all over the keyboard anyway.
Pop.
I think it's got to be Pop. I'm looking at Pop. Dark hair fella.
Oh, Pop's got it easily.
I mean, look at that hat. Look at the hat that Crackle's wearing. There's no way somebody who can win a death match is wearing that hat.
I need to get this up.
He looks like he's about.
To be honest,
he looks like he's wearing pajamas and he's about to go to bed. Crackle's done.
No offence to them, but all three of them are dickheads, to be honest.
It's true.
Oh no, Crackle's an absolute loser.
Right off, isn't he? Absolutely right off.
He's an embarrassment. What's his hair? Modern Crackle has got an upside down yellow weed leaf on his head.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's like a
bongers.
Although actually, the version that I'm looking at now is Snap has been replaced by Thanos in a hilarious bit of pop culture mashup.
Oh, I think I might be looking at that. Is he like, he's
Thanos
disintegrating in it. Thanos did nothing wrong.com.
Yeah, so there you go. Mono and mono. No weapons other than the clothes you walk into the dome with. I think literally
Crackle can't have his big spoon.
He can't have his big spoon, but Tony the Tiger can have his his neckerchief if he wants to throttle someone.
That opens up a whole new world of thinking, doesn't it? Using the items of clothing that they've got.
Yeah, but no weapon. Yeah, because I want it to be as fair as possible in terms of. I want it to be fisticuffs. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be. Oh, I don't know. Let's find some fucking serial mascot that's got a gun. That's too much, mate.
There must be one with a gun.
I'm just wondering, the Ricicles lad, the Ricicles astronaut.
Rick Ricicles, did he have a ray gun?
A Snap, Crackle, pop a cap in his ass.
Captain Crunch, I wonder if he had a cutlass. Did he have a cutlass?
That's what I'm saying. We can't be having that. We can't be having him going up against Crackle.
Weapons can be carried to the ring, but must be left on the outside. And any use of those weapons, if the ref sees it, it's disqualification. And we're having the very best refs. We're having the best. Earl Hebner is refereeing these matches. We're going top reffing. Yeah, not getting.
Captain Rick. Now he had a jetpack. Is he allowed to use that? I mean, it's not clothing, is it?
Is he going to use it? How's he going to win with it? What's he going to do?
He's going to take it off. He's going to aim it. And he's going to press a button. He's going to blast him with a.
He's going to use it as a weapon.
Yeah, but
disqualification. You're out. Rick's out. Rick's out. Rick's cheating with a scumbag.
Look at Iron Man. You learn things when you're in deep space, don't you?
Correct. Well, I mean, this is a flavour of the type of conversation we'll be having sometime this summer about the mascots. But like I say, in the meantime, please head over to the FRUK Unwrapped and fans group. If you can't find it. It is on our Facebook page. It's literally pinned to the top, so there is a link there. Or message us if you can't find it. We are keen to get people in that group, but more so to get people involved in this, because I think this could be an absolutely bloody lovely episode and fun.
Banger.
And yeah, although I think it's my favourite, I think the discussions we had last week, Tony the Tiger's got to be a decent little shout for a dark horse.
Yeah, Tony's an early front runner. Yeah.
Definitely. Tony's one of the big ones.
Yeah,
all rounder. So yeah, lovely stuff. Right, thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure talking peanut butter with you and everything else. And I look forward to doing another one of these conversations in 2 weeks' time when we will have a guest, which will be Steffi from the Chocolate Smiths.
Whoa.
Wow!
Oh.
For our first ever sequel.
It's worth mentioning that only the first 150 people to download the podcast will be able to listen to it. It's a very limited edition podcast.
We may release another 150 the next day. Yeah, so looking forward to that. Actually, very much.
That's obviously not. That's not true, though, is it? Obviously,
no.
And we're talking about chocolate.
We don't have 150 listeners. Yes, we will be. It is a chocolate episode. I didn't know if I assumed that would probably be
obvious,
implied by the fact that it was a sequel episode featuring a lady who sells Czech chocolate. So,
Czech chocolate.
Czech chocolate.
Is that like Polish chocolate?
It's like Polish chocolate, but it's more Czech.
Yeah.
Decent. That's good.
As you can tell, the rounding out of this episode has gone as well as any other. So see you later. Goodbye.
See you later, mate.
Mate. Stuart, they can't see you, mate. You have to say goodbye.
Goodbye.